So I was just thinking about dreaming and being a dreamer. And I call myself that pretty easily because I come from a whole family of dreamers. There's uh, basically five kids that grew up together in my household for the most part. And that's one way or another how we all came to be, despite if that wasn't like a natural tendency for us. And I sometimes get into zodiac signs and see the tendency for certain signs to be dreamers. So, like my sister and I, between the two of us, were Sagittarius and Pisces. Both are known to be, I mean, my understanding, I don't know, anyone watching this that knows better can correct me, but between a Sagittarius and a Pisces, those are basically the two biggest dreamers of the zodiac. So, all to say, um, I was thinking about the advantage that 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 I feel it gives people in life that do fall into that category. And there's such an advantage. There's such a, I guess this is my advocacy for dreaming, dreaming types. It is so lovely, honestly, to be able to dream. To daydream? Okay, we're talking daydreaming. That is a fun activity in life. If you can just be like, you know what? I don't need TV. I don't need phone. I don't need anybody or anything. Like, just let me be outside in the sun. You know what? Just give me my own spot. I'm about to daydream about something that made me happy yesterday, and I was really smiling about it. And then you just sit there and have a whole like movie that you play up in your mind. Daydreaming. That is when that makes you totally happy and you're like, oh, that felt like a mini vacation. That was a great story. The thought of that makes me really excited, or just like that I can dream up a story that makes me super excited or happy. Oh my god. I mean, I think we probably most of us do that. I don't know. I don't talk to people about this. I don't look it up in studies if there are any about daydreamers, but just like I have this book. I don't even know how I came on this book. Lost Child in the Woods by Richard Loaf. And just the name of it, Last Child in the Woods, makes me think about my childhood. Like in Germany, where we lived near, as an army brat family, we lived near, across the street from like a forest, some woods, where all the kids felt safe, or at least, I don't know, us kids. There weren't a lot of kids in the woods, I will say. We were usually the only ones. So, either way, I was made to feel that I could be safe in the woods. And there was a lot of like cool adventures happening. And I think that that early start, yeah, made me a daydreamer. You know, we had that freedom, at least back then. I think many of us were able to like climb in trees. I hope you were. I climbed up a cherry tree in that neighborhood all the time, and there were so many cherries on the ground. And we would like pick flowers and make perfume with water, my sister and I, terrible perfume. And we would go find frogs at the pond. Okay, this is my childhood in the late 80s, early 90s, between Baumholder, Germany. Oops. Yeah, anyways, that's the information. And in the Bay Area, here in California, but mostly in Germany, there was just a lot of, like, I remember a really windy day when I was having a fight with my like second grade best friend on the playground, but this was like way after school when everybody else was at home, and like we thought there was a tornado coming, and it was so intense. I was in second grade. Why were we on the playground when everybody else was like getting home eating dinner? Just the two of us. Oh man. Anyway, I'm just kind of diving into old memories. Hope that wasn't too long. But I hope that you guys can have some. I hope that you guys have good child memories too that you can sometimes dive into and kind of extend on as like daydreaming stories. Nothing to, get you overly optimistic about. Just something to like this. I feel like daydreaming is like a good. It's like having a good time in your life. Just creating these dreamy plans, these dreamy stories. And I will say, sometimes they come true. When you think about it enough, then you start talking about it. And when you talk about it enough, then you start doing something about it. So, daydreaming is a prerequisite to being creative. All right, creativity class 101 coming up next. I'm just playing. No, but that would be funny if yeah. Actually, that's not a bad idea. But anybody listening out there can let me know if that's something that's been done. Maybe I can like look into it. All right. Well, thanks for listening.